Today we're going to talk about one of the most common mistakes we see a lot of people make when they're playing tennis and trying to serve or smash. So the mistake that we're talking about here is that their arm movement and wrist movement is not synchronized. What do I mean by synchronized? That they don't move together as a unit, they don't move at the same speed. So some people, and we covered this in other videos already, some people, when they're swinging, they don't use their wrist enough and they're pulling the arm down under the ball. The whole thing would look like this. The ball goes up, it's really hard to put it in, and as soon as you hit a little bit harder, it's almost impossible to get the ball in because you're under the ball when you touch it, because your wrist is still bent back when you're making contact with the ball. The opposite of that would be that you're not swinging through the ball. So for example, when you're swinging up, you kind of stop when you're going towards the ball and you just use your wrist. So now the wrist is moving much faster than the arm and the whole thing looks like this. What happens as a result of that? The ball just goes straight down, doesn't make it over the net. If you're kind of moving your arm a little bit, it might make it to the net, but it's really hard to get it over the net. So you can see one of them causes the ball to go way too far and way too high, and the other one causes the ball to go straight down and not make it to the net. So we have to figure out how to move our arm and our wrist at the same speed so that our arm can swing through the ball and our wrist can give it that smack at the top that we want to add extra power, use that whipping effect and make the ball go into the right spot. Now this is a really tricky thing because what you have to learn is you have to learn that your wrist has to be strong, because most people tend to just move their arm fast but the wrist doesn't move. Okay, the second option only happens when you already get taught how to move your wrist, right? So we want to make sure that when we're swinging towards the ball, we're also working on that wrist flick at the top that gets on top of the ball. So I like to call it the arm moves upward and through the ball and the wrist moves down on the ball. If those two things work together, it is very easy for you to hit a clean serve. So one more time, if your arm moves too fast and the wrist is not catching up, the serve will go like this. As you can see, the ball went very far. And the second version, when the wrist moves too fast, the arm stops moving towards the ball, it'll look like this. And now the third version, where everything moves in sync, which is really what we're aiming for, would look like this. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, on the smash, it's even more important than on the serve to make sure that the wrist catches up with the movement of the arm. On the smash, you even want the wrist to be a bit faster. The reason for that is you want to smash down. You don't want to smash it far, and you also don't want to smash it up. So you need to make sure that on every smash, your wrist really gets on top of the ball, no matter how hard your arm swings. And now if you're trying to swing faster, you have to make sure that not only the arm swings faster, but also the wrist. So you can catch up and synchronize both of those movements.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.